Start now.
Did you know that without a felt tip pen like the one you are holding right now, the Apollo 11 mission would have failed? Hello, my name is Tim Tyson, and I am a sophomore at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. I live in Leawood, Kansas, and I'm very excited to be here. My presentation will detail about the Apollo 11 mission and the difficulties that the crew had to overcome for this mission to be the most important NASA mission, scientifically and socially. Before I dive into the difficulties that they faced, I'm going to provide a little background information on the mission. This mission occurred in 1969 and was the first space flight to bring humans to the moon. The USA and NASA were able to transport 3 individuals to the moon and back safely. Throughout the preparation and execution of the mission, the crew faced difficulties concerning the people involved in the mission, the conditions on the moon and the spacecraft that they traveled in, and the time period during which the mission occurred. But through true willpower and hard work, they were able to overcome these immense obstacles. The most challenging obstacles concerned the astronauts involved in the mission. For example, Neil Armstrong barely escaped death when preparing for the mission. According to Laura Geggel, about a year before the astronauts departed to the moon, Armstrong was piloting an aircraft simulating the moon landing. During the flight, he lost total control of the vehicle and it started crashing down to the ground. Luckily, he was able to eject himself from the aircraft, and if he wouldn't have done so, he would have died in the explosion. Another complication concerned Buzz Aldrin, Armstrong's partner within the spacecraft. Trevor English explains that during this mission, a switch from the lander's circuit breaker snapped off. This mishap would have left Aldrin and Armstrong stranded on the moon. But due to Aldrin's quick thinking, he was able to secure the circuit breaker with a felt tip pen. This pen can be seen in figure 2 on my poster. Overall, the astronauts and crew members dedicated thousands of hours to training and preparing for the mission. They risked their lives for the advancement of science. Another challenge was the conditions of the mission both on the moon and within the spacecraft. The major difficulty concerning the conditions of the moon was the roughness of the planned landing area. Doris Ellen Urrutia explains that the original landing spot was chosen because it was located near the equator with seemingly not that many objects around that could disrupt the landing. But when Armstrong started getting closer to the moon, he noticed that there was a huge crater with a lot of rocks in there, so he had to move manually to a different spot. This risky decision could have been very complicated because they would have lost gas and it could have been dangerous, but it actually saved the mission and he was able to do it successfully. And also within the spacecraft, an alarm went off during the flight. This alarm signaled that there were too many commands in the computer system and it was running out of memory. Armstrong and Aldrin radioed mission control, and the crew worked hard to solve the issue. The perseverance of the crew of Apollo 11 shows the dedication that NASA has for the advancement of science. The time in which the Apollo 11 mission occurred also posed many difficulties to the staff. According to Kathleen Alcott, the main issue during this time frame was that people thought that the mission was a distraction from America's real problems. The main problem during this time was the Vietnam War. Some people thought that the funding should have been used to fund the Vietnam War and that the Apollo 11 mission was not as important. Another problem, according to my grandmother who lived during the Apollo 11 mission, was the idea of extraterrestrial life living on the moon. To prevent panic throughout the country, the Apollo 11 crew was quarantined the moment they landed. They remained in quarantine for 21 days as doctors ensured that they were healthy and no alien life was present. Although all the issues posed major problems, Apollo 11 united Americans and raised our national pride. Apollo 11 was still and is still an inspiration to many people within the United States and throughout the world. The scientific and social influence of Apollo 11 can be seen through its inspiration around the world. People like Dale Brosis were inspired to pursue careers in science and space exploration. Over 1/6 of the global population at the time, around 600 million people, watched the moon landing live. This allowed NASA's idea of creativity through science to reach around the globe. People were inspired to learn more about the universe, and this impressive milestone in human history proves that we, as humans, are capable of great things. Children were shown to follow their dreams, and as a community, we were able to come together. The information gathered from this mission became crucial to the advancement of science, specifically space exploration. For all these reasons, the Apollo 11 mission is the most important NASA mission scientifically and socially. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Timothy.
You're welcome.
Sorry.